Hey guys, it's Miss Delcambre. Today is September 22nd, and here's a rundown of today's lesson. You will need your journal, glue, pencil, red and yellow pencil color, either pencil color, marker, crayon, and you need your 5.1 notes. We're going to do a quick review over the week, what it's going to look like. Then we have our 5.1 notes. We have our real world video and another quick video from Dr. Berger. And then you're going to do IXL for your homework for tonight. So if you go up here to my Google Classroom, and hopefully it's going to take me all the way back out. Okay, it didn't take me all the way out, but here we go. So yesterday we had our Module 2 test. Make sure that you get that done. Also, if you have to make test corrections, I sent that out into your Google Classroom under an assignment. Should be all the way at the top that says test corrections. Click on it and you should see what numbers you missed, and you'll use Cami to help answer those questions. Today we went over 5.1, adding integers with same sign. Your homework is your builder and IXL. Wednesday we'll be adding integers with different signs. You have an ed puzzle. You'll also have a worksheet 5.2. Thursday we have our 5.3, subtracting integers. You'll have a worksheet on that day, and Builder 5 is still need to be worked on. And then finally, Friday is applying and subtracting integer operations. So those deal more with word problems and deciphering if we're adding or if we're subtracting integers, if it's positive integer or if it's negative integer. So that's a week in review. So going here underneath to my document camera, we're going to glue in our notes. Here we go. So go ahead and glue those in and lock that in place. You will need your red pencil color or marker, whatever you desire, whatever you have handy, but it needs to be red and yellow because we're going to be talking about counters today. All right, so today is 9/22/20. 9/22/20. And we're going to be talking about adding integers with common signs. So when we add our integers with the same signs or common signs, you add them together and you keep the sign. Keep the sign. So here's our example. I'm going to look at the second example first because we've been used to seeing it like that. So 6 + 2 = 8. Same thing when you start learning adding in first grade. 6 + 2 = 8. Nothing changes there. They're both positive numbers, therefore the answer is going to be positive. Okay? Now, if we drew this on a number line, we started off with 6. So I'm going to draw a blank number line right here. All right, and I have the number 6. I'm going to throw some numbers to the left of 6, like the number 5. And then I'm going to go some numbers to the right of 6, 9. So my number starts, it was 6 here. So on my number line, I'm going to put a dot right where 6 is. And it's adding 2. So I'm going to go 2 to the right because that is going in the positive direction, is to the right. And do you see it landed on 8? So it's 8 there, and it landed on 8. This is just a visual representation. Now, here's our other example. -8 plus -1 equals a -9. If you think about it, 8 plus 1 gives me 9. So -8 plus a -1 gives me a -9. Since they're both negative, your answer is going to be negative. So if we showed this on a number line, just going to draw a blank number line right here. I have -8. Then I'm going to put some numbers to the right of -8. So that would be -7 and -6. And then I'm going to put some numbers to the left of it. -9. And let's see if I can squeeze -10 in there. So again, my numbers, my equation starts with a -8. So my dot is going to be at -8. I add a -1. Well, negatives are to the left of 0, so I'm going to go to the left one spot, and I end up at -9. Okay, now we're going to be talking about counters. Okay, you probably have seen counters last year. They are two-sided little chips. They're yellow on one side, and then if you flip them, they're red on the other side. Okay, so when we use these counters, you'll see them, especially with IXL and in Prodigy, you'll see red counters, and red counters represent negative numbers. So I'm just shading this in red so I can visually look at it and go, red means negative. So if red means negative, yellow means positive. So I'm going to shade that in, color block that in, so I can remember yellow means positive numbers. All right, so if I'm looking at -4 plus a -3, so I'm going to start off with my counters. I'm going to use 4 red counters. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 4 red counters. Then I'm going to add 3 negatives. So I'm going to add -3, which is 3 red counters. When I look, I'm totaling it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, they're all red. So that would be a -7. So off to the side here, this is where I'm going to do my drawings. So I started off with 4 negatives. So 4 red counters. Then I added 3 counters that are red because that's a -3, which gives me a -7. So my answer is a -7. All right, let's go down to the bottom question. So 4 plus 3, well, guys, that's what you learn in first grade, 4 plus 3. I have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I add 3 to it, 1, 2, 3, and I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I get a total of 7. And since they're yellow, that means that's a +7. So I'm just going to take this space over here and I'm going to color in with my yellow pencil color 4 yellow counters and then 3 yellow counters. Using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Move my counters to the side right quick. I'm going to flip the page over. I'm going to do 2 more examples, and we're going to use number lines to, just like we did the last one, to use a number line and to use it in showing counters. So I have 5 plus 7. So I'm going to do my number line first. So I'm going to draw a blank number line. Just going to draw a straight line with 2 arrowheads. Means it continues. My first number is going to go on the number line. Always going to go on the number line. So I'm putting that 5 right here. And then I'm going to put some numbers to the left of 5. 5, 4, 3. And some numbers to the right. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So again, we start off at the first number, so 5. And I'm adding 7, and that's positive, so I'm going to go 7 to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I end up at 12. So I'm going to show you 2 ways that you may see this. You may see it like with the hops, okay? When I'm doing it, I always like to do the hops. However, this is another way that you can see it. Let's start at 5, the dot, and then it will go over, and it will be a straight line to where it ends up at, which would be 12. So either way, you may see it. I just want you to let you know. And then I moved over 7 spots there. Okay. Now let's do this with counters. So I have 5 plus 7. So these are both positive, so I'm getting my red pencil color out, hold over here. I'm sorry, my yellow pencil color. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yellow counters, and then 7 yellow counters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 yellow counters on the bottom. When I total them up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. I get 12 counters. So my answer would be a positive 12. All right, let's go down to another one. I have negative 9 plus a negative 5. And I'm putting this negative 5 in parentheses, kind of like holding it so it says that doesn't look like a subtracting 5, it's a negative 5. To keep it with that 5 right there. Again, I'm going to draw a blank number line. My number line needs to have this negative 9 on it. So I'm going to put negative 9 right here. I'm going to put negative 8. And then here we go, negative 10, negative 11, negative 12, negative 13, negative 14, negative 15. Okay, I start off where this negative 9 is, and I'm going 5, and it's a negative 5, so I'm going to go 5 to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it lands right there at that negative 14. Okay. The other way that you may see it is that, again, it starts off here at this negative 9. It goes straight, and it stops right here at this negative 14. So this would be a 5. It went over 5 to the left. But it still ends up here at negative 14. So if we were doing this with counters, negative 9 plus a negative 5, I'd have 9 red counters to start with. So I'm going to draw 9 counters that are red. Let's make sure I counted them right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have 9 red counters. And then I'm adding 5 negatives, which are 5 red counters. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. When I count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I have an answer of 14. They're all red, so it would be a negative 14. Be a negative 14. Some key things to take away from this, guys, is when you go right, when you move to the right, you're adding positives. And then when you go to the left, you are adding negatives. And when you're adding negatives, you go to the left. Think of it like that. Okay, that's it for our notes. I've got a couple of quick videos I want to show you. So stay right there. Minimize you. There you go.
them is really important. Today I'm using integers for something different. I'm planning a hike through some pretty rough terrain. I want to figure out how much I'm going to have to climb or descend during different parts of this hike. This topographic map shows me the elevation, or feet above sea level. Every line is a change in elevation up or down. So here's my plan. I'm going to go along this river, then up onto that bridge, down a hill, and then up a big hill to get a really good view of the whole area. Then I'm going to come back down, across the river again, and I'll finish the day up over there. Just add and subtract some integers, the elevations, and I'm going to be going up and down a couple hundred feet today. If I'm out scuba diving for my work, I can use ocean charts that show water depth the same way. By reading these charts carefully, I can plan my dive and make sure I don't go too deep, which can be really dangerous when you're on scuba. And that's another reason math matters.
All right. That kind of gives us an intro into what we will be doing, especially on Friday when we start looking at word problems, when he was talking about going up a hill and down to the valley and down by the river and so forth. Those are talking about different style of integers, okay, negative and positive integers. All right, we've got one more short, maybe 2 minutes. Give Dr. Berger a minute. 2 minutes and 39 seconds.
Hey, so I want us to think about how to add different types of integers together. And the first thing I want us to think about is a really, really fun one, which is adding integers where the two integers have the same sign. So if they're both positive, you've actually been adding these numbers the whole time because, of course, those are like whole numbers, and you know how to add whole numbers. If in fact, though, they're both negative, then it gets more interesting. So let me just tell you the general way to think about it, no matter whether they're both positive or they're both negative. Here is the rule. If you want to add two integers and they have the same sign, here's what you do. You just take the absolute value of each of them, you add up those numbers, which we know how to do, and then give the answer the same sign as the signs of the original numbers. That's all there is to it. So just for fun, let's take an example and see it working out. What I'd like us to do is I'd like us to add -7 and -8. So I want to consider -7 plus -8. So here they are, -7 plus -8. What's the first thing we're going to do here? We notice that we're adding two integers that have the same sign, right? They're both negative in this case. So what do? I take the absolute value of each. So the absolute value of -7, of course, is the 7. Remember, all you got to do is lop off the negative sign. See? The absolute value of 8 is absolute value of -8 is in fact 8. So now we have the absolute values. We add those. So 7 plus 8 is 15. And then what do? We're going to now embrace the sign that is the same sign as the original sign. Because remember, they were negative. So in fact, what we see here is that -7 plus -8 is -15. You see how we capture that same sign? And that's all there is to it. So if you want to add two integers and have the same sign, take the absolute value of both, add them up, that's easy, and then embrace for your answer the same sign as the original sign. And then you just added two integers having the same sign. Congratulations, have fun adding integers. I'll see you soon.
All right, we're going to stop it right there. Okay, so for your homework tonight, I'm going to close out of here. You're going to log into iExcel. If you go into your class work, it's labeled iExcel under homework, iExcel assignments. And it tells you how to log in through your portal. Your username's just like usual. Your password's your ID number plus LISD behind it. you will be going and doing M3, M8, N1, and N2. They're the ones highlighted. So if I come over here and I'm logging in as myself, you're going to go, there's, it will say like learning up here, and you'll have a little math tab. So you're going to go to the math tab under learning. Give it a second. It has math. You will have less things than I do. I have a whole lot. You'll go to the math tab and it will pull up 6th grade for you. I'll have to go find it for me. And then you scroll down all the way to the bottom left. So I'm scrolling down. Bam, there it is. There's M. There's N. Do you see that they're highlighted with a little star beside them? Or you may just have them highlighted. May not have a star beside them. I do. So you're going to click on it. Now, M is a review from last lesson, module 1 and 2. So it's a kind of a review from the last one where you're graphing numbers on a number line. I want you to get to a SMART score of 70. Get to a SMART score of 70. Don't worry about getting 100. So here you go, graph -2 on a number line. Do you see how the little thing comes up? It looks like a circle, but it's not. So you're going to click on that. Bam, it plotted my point. And then I'm going to click submit. I'm going to click submit. All right, graph 3 on the number line. So I'm going to find where 3 is. I'm going to plot it, and bam, there it goes. And then you're going to click submit. I'm going to go back. So that was M3. We're going to look at M8 real quick. Again, go all the way to the bottom here. Put integers in order. So this is a review from the last time that we had this. Give it a second. Okay, here we go. So you're just dragging them and putting them in, put 0, 6, and -2 in order from least to greatest. You can use a number line to help. So you're just swapping these around. You see how they move back and forth? So I'm going from least to greatest. So -2, 0, +6. Got that right. So say here, okay, I'm putting them from least to greatest. All right, I'm going to just leave it and say I did from greatest to least on accident. Do you see how it wouldn't let me? I'm going to click submit. Sorry, incorrect. It's going to give me the corrected answer. And then it's going to show me why. It's going to tell me why I got it wrong and how I should have answered it. And then you're going to click got it. All right, so those are those two. You can go up at, again, I gotta go the long way. You don't have to probably. Go into 6th grade. Go down to N. You're going to scroll down to N, and then you're adding integers with counters and on the number line. Okay, on your counters, you may have not just the same color, that you may have different colors. And I kind of want to go and touch over that. That's going to be tomorrow's lesson. Okay, as you see, -3 plus a -1. These two cancel, leaving me with just 2 left over, 2 negatives. So I'm going to submit. I got it right. Say I didn't do it and I said, oh, okay, I get this. Submit. It's going to tell me why it's incorrect. It's going to give me the correct answer, and it's walking me through. You started with this. All right, here you go. This is the way you're supposed to solve it. That your positive counters represent 4. Then you add the 3 negatives. Since the pairs make a positive counter and a negative counter have a value of 0, cross them out, and I have 1 left over. So even if you get it wrong, read your answers of why you got it wrong, so that the next question you'll understand what they're asking for. And then the next one is of number lines. So that's it for today. Get working on that Excel and get those builders into me. All right, talk to you later. Bye.